Welcome back. Saltwater intrusion. It's being called a slow onset climate crisis by environmentalists, and it is a big concern here in South Florida.
That's because it's the source of much of our water supply, and it's being threatened by too much salt water seeping in. Next, weather meteorologist Dave Warren shows you what's being done to keep the salt water out.
At Matheson Hammock Park, it sits across Biscayne Bay. Now, at the surface and as seen from above, everything may look normal. But what's happening below our feet? That's having big impacts on the drinking water for all of us here at South Florida.
And so it's a really important thing for people living in Miami to understand where our water comes from the Biscayne Aquifer, and also why it's at risk.
That water is literally under our feet, and it's under attack.
Here is one of the rocks that we're all standing on top of, that all the homes and buildings around South Florida are built on top of.
That's limestone, our fresh water naturally filtered as it slowly moves through it. But there is a problem.
Water from the ocean is actually pushing into the holes in the rock.
That same process that filters the fresh water also allows salt water to move through it. Less fresh water in the aquifer can allow salt water to move inland.
There's been areas like Dania Beach and Hallandale Beach that have lost wells to saltwater intrusion.
Mark Elsner is with the South Florida Water Management District. They monitor that intrusion and what it means for the freshwater wells.
We create these maps every 5 years and just look at the movement. We work with utilities and their pumpage, because saltwater intrusion can be caused by a number of things.
Like canals. Fresh water that used to flow slowly across the landscape is now forced out through them. This makes it easier for salt water to replace the fresh water that is no longer there. Once that occurs,
it's extremely difficult to reverse it. We don't really have the infrastructure here. You'd have to do a desalination plan. It's very expensive. It takes a lot of energy.
We may not be able to reverse it completely, but we do have a way to prevent it.
But one of the best ways to do that is to restore the Everglades.
So we hit the road, headed to the front lines of this effort, off Card Sound Road in southern Miami-Dade County.
And this is one of our wetland restoration sites where we're trying to restore natural hydrology to the wetlands that we've acquired.
The Nature Conservancy partnered with the county on restoration projects just like this one.
Basically, we're trying to plug in these canals and get a sheet flow over the entire wetland area.
They do that with canals like this one. It's not like ones you're used to seeing. This one lacks a control structure.
This particular project is meant to keep the water from draining off of the wetlands and to divert it back onto the landscape.
The goal, to restore the natural flow of the Everglades.
To keep these wetlands hydrated.
By keeping the fresh water here longer, it will not only help recharge the aquifer, but protect it from the effects of climate change.
It'll help respond to sea level rise.
The water we use every day is literally just under the ground we walk on.
And that's why it's so important to protect the land, especially around areas where we're getting our drinking water from, to ensure that we continue to have this really high quality drinking water.
It's a group effort by all who call South Florida home.
Yeah, so there's things that you can do as well, inside and outside of your home, as opposed to, say, restoring the effort there in the Everglades. You want to fix and check for leaks. Also use high-efficient shower heads. Turn off the tap as you're brushing your teeth or shaving. You want to keep a lot of fresh water in here. Outside, check your sprinklers, and water is needed. So don't run the water system, I say, when it's raining. Use drought-tolerant plants and use mulch, too, to keep all of that fresh water around and help to keep the salt water from seeping in. Jim, Naja?
Important information.
Yeah, good advice, Dave. Thanks. Do you get a sense that the county is on top of this issue, though, Dave?
Yeah, the county, it's a large group of people working together. Yes, the county's on top of it, and then there's other agencies that are just all working together to help restore this and to keep all the fresh water here, keep the salt water out.
Important information. Very interesting. Dave, thank you for that report.
Of course. In addition to